Peace, it's Equality Fragrances coming to you from Prince George's County, Maryland. Welcome to my cipher. A cipher is a person, place, a thing within my circumference. The understanding of my cipher is peace. For all those new to the channel and those who have been supporting me since day one, I humbly appreciate all your support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified when I drop some new videos. All of that goes a long way in helping the channel grow, and it costs you nothing to do. If you have any questions for me, don't forget to follow me on IG. A link will be in the description. With that being said, come on in, sit down, and let's build. Today, I'll be hitting you with my top 10 Manceras for the spring. Now, let me do my caveat on top 10. I'm not ranking these by what's the number one is the best and better than number 10 or number 5 and number 5 is better than number 1. I'm not doing it that way. What I am doing it and telling you is what I plan on reaching for the most. So the number 1 fragrance, I will reach for the most. The number 10 fragrance, I'll reach for the least, if that makes any sense. So I'm not going to give you any honorable mentions. We just going to get right down to it. I'm going to try to give you brief descriptions and we'll see how this goes. Let's start the show. Starting off at number 10 is Kumkat Wood. Now, this fragrance is, I'm gonna say, a bit of a disappointment to me. It's probably one of my least favorite Manceras in my collection. Now, it's not overall a bad scent. It's a nice, wearable, woody scent, extremely versatile. It's inoffensive. It's not loud at all. It sets close to the skin. You're only gonna get about 6 to 7 hours on it. How would I describe this fragrance? Is nothing like how it reads. People have compared this to Terra de Hermes, and I think that's absolutely wrong because it doesn't have that bitter citrus or even a strong citrus to be even said. It has some citruses in here, but that is not the key. What you're gonna get is a lot of woodiness and a lot of spice up top, and next thing you know, the floral musky elements come in. So this is really like a floral, woody, musky scent is how I would describe it. When I say musk, what does that mean to somebody who just getting in the frag calm or doesn't understand what that means? It's really soapy. So it's like a clean, almost soapy, spicy floral. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm getting probably some white florals in here. I would almost be willing to bet money that jasmine's in here, and that's what's throwing me off in this fragrance, because you're getting this soft white florals. It's not a rose, it's not violet. It's more like jasmine that I'm picking up in this fragrance, and you know how I feel about jasmine, so that's a personal bias. But overall, work safe, gym safe, just doing running errands. It's an overall good scent, just not my favorite. But at number 10, that's Kumkat Wood. Coming in at number 9 is probably Mancera's number 1 most sold fragrance from the house, and that's Cedrat Boise, or Cedrat Boise. Now, how would you describe this fragrance? This is their take on Creed Aventus. Now, before any of the trolls come in and say it doesn't smell like Creed Aventus, well, I never actually said I did. I said it's their take on it. Now, what does that even mean? It means like it took part of the DNA and then made it into its own. Let's just be frank and honest. Even Creed Aventus doesn't smell like Creed Aventus. What do I mean by that? If I have the first batch of 2020, you can have 4 other batches come out in the same year and all of those batches smell different. God forbid if you get a 2015 batch, it doesn't smell like the 2020 batch. So what does Aventus smell like? I don't know. It has a particular DNA, but even within the batches, they don't smell the same. So trying to even say that this smells like Aventus is crazy to me. That's just a quick rant. Back to the show. What you get here is that juicy bergamot that gives off this pineapple-y like effect. You get a nice leather, you get some woodiness, you get some florals in here, and it has that black currant. So I think with the juicy bergamot, the black currant is kind of mimicking that Aventus kind of style, but it's missing stuff like the green apple, the rose. It has a vanilla base, some oak moss, some woodiness, leathery. Overall, a good scent. I think it's so low because I just become bored. I've had this for a while and I've become bored with the composition. I probably need to put it on the shelf for about 2 years and come back and revisit it and see how I feel. I did the same thing with blue fragrances, and I'm starting to enjoy wearing blue fragrances again. Anyway, number 9, Cedrat Boise. Number 8 is probably one of their best blended fragrances within their catalog, and that's Gold Prestigium. Now, what is this fragrance? You get a lot of citruses, you get some spicy, it's a little leathery, and it's woody. Now, I've enjoyed this. At one point, I said this is almost like their take on Lamar a little bit, till I started thinking and going through my head as far as what I actually have, because it was really familiar. And what it reminded me of is my 2015 bottle of La Homme YSL La Homme Parfum Intense. Not necessarily the same colors, but it's going like in that brown same direction. And this fragrance isn't a bad fragrance. It's sweet. But the problem with this fragrance is the performance is rather abysmal. Maybe about 4 or 5 hours on this. With this, you can get every bit of 7, 8 hours on this. It's not a room filler, but it's going to set, it's going to have moderate projection, moderate sillage. Overall, a good fragrance, highly underrated from the house. One to definitely check into, especially if you like woody leather fragrances with a little spicy, citrusy kick up top. Extremely well blended. And that's Gold Prestigium. Coming in at number 7 is a fragrance that really never gets discussed when you start talking about citrus fragrances in Mancera. Probably because the bottle's pink and people like, yeah, I don't really know if I want to try it. But I'm telling you, gentlemen, this is a nice spring scent. Remember what I always told you, that people aren't just smelling you, they smelling everything around you and what's going on in the spring. You got some florals and things of that nature. And this fragrance is Pink Prestigium. Now, the kicker with this is it's a little sharp in the opening. You need to let it settle down for about 2-3 minutes. Then it starts to settle down. Why is it so like zingy in the opening? Because you get a blast, and I mean a blast of grapefruit that lasts throughout the life of the fragrance. Throughout the entire life of the fragrance, it goes nowhere. So it's very zesty and a little tart. That tartness also comes from the black currant that mixes with this. And then you get this nice floral chord, mainly rose you get out of this. It's not your grandma's rose. It's just the rose adds some cleanness and almost some soapiness to the composition along with the musk. And that's what you get throughout the life of the fragrance. It's said to have, I believe, some oud in here. I don't really get it. It's a little spicy. I think that might be due to the saffron. I don't get no leather in here as well, and that's throughout the, I mean, this is going to last you 8-9 hours. It's going to last on skin. When the heat hits this, it just absolutely works. This is a really good fragrance, but one, because of that opening and how it's sharp, I would tell people to sample beat. I wouldn't tell nobody to blind buy this at all. But I personally love it. It might be my scent of the day today, and that's Pink Prestigium. Coming in at number 6 is a newer acquisition. This is one I still haven't figured out how I feel about this, but that's because I haven't been able to test it when I want to test it, because I got this in the winter and now we're hitting spring. I should be getting more wear in, and by summertime I'll have a review up and tell you how I feel about this fragrance, and that's Juicy Flowers. To sum this up and make this real quick, what I'm getting so far from this fragrance is if you take Instant Crush and you take Jardin Exclusif, both from the house, and you blended them together, this is what you would get. If you have Instant Crush already and you have Jardin Exclusif already, because the two alone are totally different fragrances, this could be rather redundant for you. To me, I think it's a nice fragrance to have. Women, because it has really, really good sweetness, this is one I think will work definitely on women almost in any season. For me, this is a playful, flirty scent. This is something I'm gonna wear casually. I really wouldn't dress this up. How would I describe this scent? A fruity, floral, musky scent. That's how I would, and with an ambery base. That's how I would describe this fragrance, the same way I would describe Jardin Exclusif. So what do you get? I'm getting a lot of strawberry, pear, peach. I'm getting some musk. I'm getting that ambergris vanilla, which is giving me that ambery undertone. And I'm getting florals in here, I believe mostly violet and maybe some rose in here. Violet and maybe some rose. But it's a nice blended bouquet of florals. It could be jasmine in here, but it's just blended so well. It's just a nice floral chord that's created here along with that ambery, musky, and the fruits up top. Overall, a good fragrance. Longevity-wise, I'm really not going to give that to y'all yet because I haven't tested it enough. But that's number 6, Juicy Flowers. Coming in number 5 is a fragrance I have described as a easy wearing fragrance. It smells like the men's fragrance section of the mall during the summertime. It is mass appealing. This could easily be a designer scent. If Acqua di Agio had a private line, yes, I know Giorgio Armani has a private line, but I'm talking about the particular line of, let's say, like if Acqua di Agio was niche, This could easily have been it, and that's Soleil D'Italie. Now, when I say it smells like the men's section, fragrance section of the mall, what do I mean? So when you walk through the mall and everybody's spraying Aqua D'Agio, Chanel, and YSL, and Invictus is, and you walk, and it's creating this scent accord that's cologne. That's what this smells like. You get a lot of citruses, you get some aquatic nuances, and that's with the aquatic notes and the ambergris in here, and you getting a woody base. So I would consider this a aquatic citrus woody scent. Has some musk in there that makes it clean. That woody, musky, ambergris scent is a great dry down for spring and summer. It just absolutely works. Highly complimented. In the summertime, when this just hits off your skin with the woody notes, this is just, in those bright citruses, this is just absolutely amazing. To be honest, this is the way Kumkat Wood, the citruses should have popped. It would have took that fragrance to another level. But anyway, this is a great one, and that's Soleil D'Italie. Coming in number 4 is a highly complimented fragrance for me, highly, at least top 5 most complimented Manceras within my collection. This fragrance does lean feminine if you see gender in fragrances. To me, it's a unisex scent. It's extremely sweet. So if you associate women fragrances with sweet fragrances, then yes, it's going to be a woman's fragrance for you. But I'm telling you, it is a magnet, and that's Jardin Exclusif. Now, this fragrance, I've been talking about this fragrance for years. This is just like Juicy Flowers, a fruity, floral, musky scent with an ambery base. I mean, they smell really, really close. The difference is the type of fruits you pick. Where I get like strawberries, a lot out of Juicy Flowers, I get more citruses, more like bergamot, lemon, zesty, but I still get that pear and that peach I get, which is similar. So they're extremely similar in that aspect. The most florals that pop off of my skin with this is rose and violet. And it has this ambery sweetness that rounds out the base, which is when the ambergris and the vanilla mix is creating this nice vanillic amber chord. And it's it has, I believe, sandalwoods in here, which makes it a little creamy, but that just rounds out the fragrance. It's not a dominant note within this composition. But overall, highly complimented. If you don't like floral scents, if you don't like sweet scents, this isn't going to be for you. Women, I think this is one you should definitely have within your collection. And that's Jardin Exclusif. Coming in at number 3 is arguably one of the best citrus scents on the market. It is easily the best citrus scent from the house. This is my number 1 summer scent, but it will be my number 3 scent in the spring. And that's Sicily. This really needs no introduction. This will always be on my list. If you haven't seen any of my videos, you know how I feel about this fragrance. Oh man, just a smorgasbord of fruits up top. Just a blast of citruses with peach. I'm getting a lot of peach that stands out in this. Pineapple stands out in this, and I'm getting like bergamot. That really stands out in this, and it's surrounded by other sweetness. I believe it's a little tart. I believe some black currant might be in here, laid upon some florals. So again, we're dealing with that fruity, floral, musky scent. It's a little powdery because it has the musk in there that's very sensual, and it has a woody base which rounds out the fragrance. So it's just not a blast of nothing but citrus and sweetness. But overall, the sweetness comes from the actual fruits that are here, so ripe, mouth-watering, and juicy. When the heat hits this off of your skin, listen, just look at the dent. When the heat hits this off your skin, it will push out and perform. I'm getting 8+ hours on this fragrance. For a citrus fragrance, the last 8+ hours, you cannot go wrong with this fragrance. White t-shirt approved, summer approved, vacation approved. I do not care what you're doing. If it's hot, it is approved. And that's Sicily. Coming in number 2, y'all already should expect this to be on the list. I just recently did a full review of this fragrance, and I have been enjoying the wearing of this fragrance. This is easily my number 1 most worn fragrance in 2021, and I've worn it even outside of testing. Like, I wear this a lot. This can be worn anywhere, any place, from a first date to dressed up to dressed down. a good scent, one you should definitely have within your collection if you love the house of Mancera, and that's Vetiver Sensuel. I'm telling you, man, this is good. And what really makes this scent for me that makes it a little bit different or really enjoyable is the mint in here. The mint with those citruses create this nice, refreshing, zesty, almost mojito accord, which lasts through almost throughout the life of the fragrance. And then it has that clean, soapy vetiver that comes with the musk and the vetiver, and some cedar wood, I believe, is in here. This is just, if you like fragrances like Terre de Hermes, you will like this. If you like, but I think this is more upon the lines of Guerlain Home series. So if you have Guerlain Home EDT, if you have Eau de Parfum, if you have the Extreme, then you will kind of understand how this DNA is hitting on, because that has a lot of woodiness, mostly vetiver, mint, and it's a little boozy, but boozy from that mojito kind of effect. Other than that, great fragrance, wear it anywhere, anytime, doing anything, dressed any way you want to be dressed. And that's Vetiver Sensuel at number 2. Coming in number 1 is one of my favorite Manceras in my collection. It is my number 2 most complimented fragrance within my entire collection, my number 2 most complimented fragrance within Mancera. No, it's not Instant Crush. You probably expected to see that because that's my number 1 most complimented fragrance in my collection and in Mancera. So you should probably know what number 2 is. This is one I did a full review on, and this fragrance got hit with the equality effect. What is the equality effect? When I review a fragrance that has been sitting on discounters or sitting for a while, after I review it, you cannot find it on discounters. Nowhere. It's been sold out almost ever since. And anytime it pops up, it's immediately sold. And that's Mancera's Pearl. When I'm telling you, gentlemen, this is marketed towards women. Most women will tell you this has a masculine edge to it. Some would say this is not feminine at all. This is a straight up unisex scent. This is a fig bomb. If you love fig fragrances, you need to try this. Let's talk about how it smells. Juicy, bright, green, bergamot, drizzled on top of strong fig note, some peach to soften it up. It gives it this little feminine side. Laid upon a nice, you go into a floral shop where they sell nothing but roses, a nice blooming rose. Imagine it. It's a little soapy, and that comes from the musk. Hell, it's not even a little soapy. It's clean and refreshing because of the musk that makes it really sensual with an ambery base. I'm telling you, this fragrance is enchanting, absolutely mesmerizing and captivating. Performance, this is crazy. I do not care if you were extra on Land Before Time. You could have been a caveman during the Ice Ages. You are now the Geico mascot. This will push through the cold weather like it's not even happening. It will cut through the cold weather. So in the spring, when you wear this, and it's just giving you this nice performance, and this scent trail is not necessarily a room filler, but it just pushes. Listen, I did a review on it. Check it out. Number 1, Mancera's Pearl. So that was my top 10 Manceras I look forward to reaching for the spring. I hope you like the list. If you have any, leave your comments down below on which ones you plan on wearing. Matter of fact, if you own any Manceras, leave your top 10 or top 5, depending on how many you own Manceras that you plan on reaching for this spring. Thank you all for your support, your kind words. That really keeps me pushing, because sometimes this stuff gets redundant, and this ain't a job for me. It's just a hobby. But y'all comments and interacting with you all really keeps me wanting to make more content. So with that being said, thank you all. I'm going to leave you the way I greeted you, and that's in the universal language of peace.